Chúng ta chọn topic number 5, weather, thời tiết.
How's the weather out there?
It's not very cold out there.
What will the weather be like tomorrow?
The radio say a cold front is coming tomorrow.
It makes a change, doesn't it?
Yes, it's going to turn colder apparently. Are you used to the climate here?
No, I can't stand the cold. I'm shaking with cold now. Winter is terrible.
But I like winter. How nice it is to see the ground covered by lovely white snow. What's more, we can go skating.
Aren't you afraid of the freezing cold and the biting winds?
Well, I still prefer the cold weather.
What's the weather like today?
It's hot today.
Is it always hot in summer in Vietnam?
Yes, it's fairly hot in summer, especially in July and August.
Do you like summer?
No, I can hardly bear its heat. It is so hot that my mouth hurts these days.
What's the temperature now?
It's about 35 Celsius degree.
Does it rain a lot here in summer?
Yes, Vietnam has wet summer.
Hi, Min. Nice to see you.
Hi, Cubs. Nice to see you too. You're looking great after your vacation. I see you got a nice suntan. How was your trip to the coast?
Wonderful. We were fortunate as to weather and the sun showed there. We had a great time.
Thảo, do you like summer?
I love summer vacations, but I don't like the heating so much.
My favorite way of beating the heat is to drink plenty of water and relax by the pool.
It's almost time for school. I'm afraid I must be going.
Look outside. The sky's getting very dark. It looks like rain. You need to take an umbrella.
I hope there's going to be a storm. What does the weather forecast say?
It's cold and cloudy in Hanoi for most of the day.
Các bạn và các em học sinh thân mến, ngày nay tiếng Anh đóng một vai trò quan trọng trong môi trường làm việc quốc tế. Muốn học tốt tiếng Anh, ngoài việc cần sự kiên trì, bền bỉ, còn đòi hỏi có các phương pháp học đúng. Bài học đọc hiểu ngày hôm nay sẽ cho các bạn một số tip để học tiếng Anh một cách hiệu quả. Ngoài ra, trong khóa học của trung tâm KON-TIKI, chúng mình cũng luôn cố gắng cung cấp cho bạn những lời khuyên bổ ích nhất. 7 ways to quickly improve your English language skills. The first one, watch movies in English. Watching series on Netflix might not exactly improve your debating skills or formal register, but it helps you to understand the language better. Get used to the colloquial, conversational forms of English and the implicity. Get a feeling for the language. Also, you could try to pick out words that sound highly informal and look up their more scholarly counterparts. Of course, there's also a plethora of documentaries. Try anything but by David Attenborough to start you off, to be found online as well. Being exposed to a language for the length of a movie might help you to actually start thinking in English. The second one, immerse yourself in English language news. Try to sample a broad range of English language newspapers, including broadsheets, as well as magazines and tabloids, as well as helping you keep up to date with current affairs. This range of news sources will also expand your vocabulary. Another advantage is that you will also become more comfortable with how words are spelt and the context in which they are used. And the third one, start a vocabulary book of useful words. Either in a notebook or on your computer, start making a list of useful words and phrases. Every time you hear or see a word you're not familiar with, note it down. Don't only focus on the word itself, but search for synonyms and phrases in which it is used. After all, you might understand what words such as precedence or tantalizing mean, but do you know how to use them accurately?
The fourth, have conversations in English. As helpfulness listening and reading tasks maybe, you also need to use English interactively and practice your own speaking skills. If you're lucky, you will be friends with a few native speakers who can help you out. If not, then try to meet up with someone else studying English. Another option is to talk to yourself in the mirror or record yourself. Listening to the sound of your own voice might be a little bit awkward at first, but you will be able to hear mistakes of which you weren't previously aware. The last one, don't forget to have fun while you learn. If studying the English language only feels like a burden, it will seem tedious and you won't perform as well. This is why it's important to stay motivated and enjoy the experience of learning a new language. Find ways to add entertainment into your studies, such as playing word games with friends that will boost your critical thinking skills. Obviously, learning a new language is a long-term project, and you can't start from zero and write an academic paper a week later. But when building a decent foundation, you can achieve great results quickly if you devote yourself intensely. Especially for exams like the IELTS, you should really know what the questions will be asked, what the formats look like, and how to deal with respective tasks. Try to stay focused and improve certain parts, rather than frantically trying to catch up with everything at once.
Excuse me, can you tell me where Hangna Street is, please?
Take the second turn on the left and then ask again.
It is far?
No, it's only about 5 minutes walk.
Thank you.
That's okay.
Excuse me, but I'm trying to find Batting Square.
Take the third turning on the right and go straight on.
Should I take a bus?
No, you can walk it in under 5 minutes.
Thank you very much indeed.
That's quite all right.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, what is it?
Which is the quickest way to the sea?
Go straight on. Take the street on your right and go as far as the sea.
Thank you ever so much.
It's all right, sir.
Excuse me, I want to get to the Museum of Fine Arts. At what stop do I get off?
Museum of Fine Arts? Just a minute. Go farther. 4 stops more. Or wait a moment. You may get off at the next stop and take another route bus. It'll be probably quicker.
Oh, thank you. I'll go by this bus, just not to change. Excuse me, would you tell me where I can buy postcard with a view of this town?
First right, second left. You can't miss a small bookshop with a stand of postcards in front of it.
Is it too far to walk?
No, it's only half a kilometer.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
Bây giờ chúng ta chuyển sang chủ đề thứ 7, Asking the way, hỏi đường. Excuse me, could you show me the way to Towden Park?
Sure, but you had better take a bus.
Please tell me which bus I must take to the Golden.
Number 10 will take you there.
How long does it take to get to the park by bus?
It's 20 minutes drive from here.
And where's the bus stop?
I'm going that way myself. I will take you there.
Thanks, brother.
Excuse me, could you tell me the way to the railway stations, please?
Sure. To Marlborough Street and then to the left at the crossroads.
What's the prominent building near it?
The Honey Department Store.
How far is the station from the department store?
It's about 2 blocks from the department store to the station.
Thanks a lot.
No problem.
Excuse me, will you tell me how to get to the nearest post office?
Go to the end of this road, then turn right and east on the left.
Would it take long to walk there?
It's about 10 minutes walk from here.
Where am I now?
You're in meeting number.
Thank you very much.
Bây giờ chúng mình sẽ đến phần đọc hiểu và nghe hiểu. Bài text ngày hôm nay là về chuyến thám hiểm KON-TIKI của nhà thám hiểm người Na Uy Thor Heyerdahl. Chuyến thám hiểm này cũng đã được chuyển thể thành một bộ phim có tên là Chuyến hải trình KON-TIKI. Thor Heyerdahl's KON-TIKI Voyage. The KON-TIKI expedition was a 1947 journey by raft across the Pacific Ocean from South America to the Polynesian Islands, led by Norwegian explorer and writer Thor Heyerdahl. The raft was named KON-TIKI after the Inca god Viracocha, for whom KON-TIKI was said to be an old name. KON-TIKI is also the name of Heyerdahl's book, the Academy Award-winning documentary film chronicling his adventures, and the 2012 dramatized feature film nominated for the Academy Award for Best Foreign Language Film. One of the great mysteries of anthropology is how Polynesia, a vast pseudo-country in the Pacific spread triangularly between Rapa Nui, Hawaii, and New Zealand, came to be inhabited by people with similar customs, cultures, and notably languages. Many theories. One theory, advanced in the 1930s, is that the islands were populated step by step from Southeast Asia, but many remained unconvinced, including a Norwegian explorer and ethnographer by the name of Thor Heyerdahl. Thor's theory was that the islands making up Polynesia were settled from the west by natives of South America using drift voyaging, basically building a raft with a sail letting the ocean take you. His primary evidence was the Moai statues of Rapa Nui, known in the west as Easter Island, which he claimed owed more to South American than Asian culture. There was also the legend of KON-TIKI Viracocha, a native chief who is said to have set sail from Peru into the sunset on a balsa wood raft.
Voyage, the team traveled to Ecuador to secure supply balsa wood and then on to Peru, where they built the raft. The raft carried out the 1,000 liters of drinking water in both ancient and modern containers to prove that ancient storage was up to the task. The food such as sweet potatoes and coconuts that could have been left available to ancient voyagers. Thor also secured radio equipment and field rations from contacts in the US military. Whilst the South Americans clearly couldn't have had such equipment, Thor argued that its presence couldn't disprove the theory that the raft could drift west to Polynesia, and its use proved vital to the journey. Notably, the hand-cranked generator meant that it wasn't exactly a luxury.
Chủ đề hội thoại của chúng ta ngày hôm nay là hobbies, sở thích. Để hỏi về sở thích của ai đó, chúng ta có thể dùng những câu hỏi sau. How do you spend your free time? Or how do you spend your spare time? What do you do in your free time or spare time? Hai câu trên được hiểu là bạn làm gì ở trong thời gian rảnh của bạn. What do you do after work? Bạn làm gì sau giờ làm? Và ta có thể hỏi ngược lại là what about you?
Để trả lời cho những câu hỏi này, chúng ta có thể dùng các câu sau. I like to go shopping in my spare time. Besides this, I am always listening to music. I'm fond of books or reading.
Câu hỏi do you play a sport? Do you play any sports? Được hiểu là bạn có chơi môn thể thao nào không?
Để trả lời câu hỏi này, chúng ta có thể dùng mẫu câu sau. I like to swim in the summer. I'm fond of skiing. I like skiing in the winter. I'm interested in all types of sports.
So how do you spend your spare time?
Well, I usually spend my spare time reading books or going swimming with my friends.
Swimming sounds like really fun in this weather. And what kind of book do you like?
I'm in love with short story and some romantic novels.
Is that so? I like those genres too. Which book did you find most impressive and thought-provoking?
I guess it's Gone with the Wind and some young Vietnamese author books.
I see. What do you often do to relax after a long day of work?
After a long day of work, I think the only thing make me relax is I just go home and then listen to some music.
I like listening to music after work too. Do you like Western music or Vietnamese traditional music?
Of course, I like Western music. And so what do you usually do in your free time, Min?
Well, normally if I have a few spare hours, I would hit up a cafe with my friends, go visit art exhibitions or museums, or I can just stay in bed and read a new book.
Oh, that sounds great. And could you tell me more about exhibitions or some museums that you have visited?
I went to the Vietnam Museum of Ethnology recently, and it was a very pleasant experience. I learned a lot about our culture and our people and our nation. And another one that I visited was the Vietnamese Women's Museum, and that was a really fun trip too.
Wow, that's amazing. What about your hobby when you feel stressed? What will keep you mood up when you feel not good?
I listen to really soothing songs, or I would treat myself with maybe like a food that I've been craving or more books.
Bây giờ chúng ta chọn chủ đề hội thoại hobby sở thích.
How do you spend your spare time?
I like to go shopping in my spare time.
What else have you been doing lately?
Besides this, I'm always listening to music.
Do you like classical music?
Yes, I like classical music, but I must say that popular songs are fascinating too.
What's your favorite pop song?
Yesterday,
Do you listen to it often?
yes, I have recorded home.
You have a good ear for music.
I feel like listening to it, that's all.
Can you play any musical instruments?
I often play the piano.
It seems that you are capable of arranging your spare time very well.
All these are only for my own enjoyment.
What do you do in your free time?
I like to swim in summer.
What about in winter?
I like skiing in winter.
That sounds interesting.
I'm interested in all types of sports, the healthy recreations.
Trong bài đọc hiểu ngày hôm nay, chúng ta cùng nghe một số đoạn văn miêu tả về phong cảnh và đời sống của người Việt trong quyển sách Lonely Planet Việt Nam. Sensory overload. Unforgettable experiences are everywhere in Vietnam. There's the sublime, gazing over the surreal seascape of limestone islands from the deck of a traditional junk in Halong Bay. The ridiculous, taking 10 minutes just to cross the street through a tsunami of motorbikes in Hanoi. the inspirational, exploring the world's most spectacular cave systems in Phong Nha Kẻ Bàng National Park, the comical, watching a moat loaded with honking pigs weave a wobbly route along a country lane, and the contemplative, witnessing a solitary grave in a cemetery of thousands of war victims.
A culinary superpower, Thailand may contest the top sport, but in Southeast Asia, nothing really comes close. Vietnamese food is that good, incredibly sublime in its flavor and outstanding in its diversity. Vietnamese cooking is a fascinating draw for travelers. Marriott Street, food tours, and cooking school are testament to this. Chinese flavor influence the soup of the north, spices spark up southern cuisine, and herbs and complex techniques typify the central coastline, rightly renowned as Vietnam Epicurean hotspot. And up and down the country, you can mingle with villagers, sample local dishes, and sip rice wine in Vietnam's many regional markets.
The road between Sapa and Lai Châu crosses the Cham Thung Pass on the northern side of Van Sipang, 15 kilometers from Sapa. At 1,900 meters, this is Vietnam's highest mountain pass and acts as a driving line between two weather fronts. The lookout points here have fantastic views and lots of stalls selling souvenirs. Most people also stop at 100 meters high, Pakpak Silver Waterfall, 12 kilometers from Sapa. On the Sapa side, it's often cold and foggy, but drop a few hundred meters onto the Lai Châu side and it can be sunny and warm. Surprisingly, Sapa is the coldest place in Vietnam, but Lai Châu can be one of the warmest.